Okay, so I'm going to get started with just telling you a little bit about the class and what to expect today. So welcome again to everybody. It's so great to see you, some new faces and some familiar faces. So as you know, we're making pancakes today and a nice bubbly drink for our brunch. So as you know, so I want to let you all know that we're recording this class right now. So if you don't want to be recorded, you can turn your camera off or just let me know in the chat. We'd love to, if you feel comfortable, we love to see your faces and your kitchens as you're cooking so we can see how you're doing. We can see what you're up to. And if you have any questions, you can show us what's going on your side of the screen. We'll also take screenshots and use those on social media. So again, if you don't want to be on social media and you don't want your face on there, just let us know in the chat, or you can go ahead and turn your camera off, as you know. Okay, so everybody's coming in muted, so that way we don't have everybody's background noise, but you can unmute yourself if you have a specific question, and you can also communicate to us in the chat. I'm going to use the chat to send you the ingredients as Chef Jazz is saying them. So that way, if you miss something, you can double check there. And so we're going to practice using the chat right now. So if you want to, you can type in the chat your name, who's cooking with us today, and where you're from. So I'll start us off. And so go ahead and introduce yourselves there. If you don't know us already, we are Culikid. We provide healthy culinary programs for people of all abilities, and we aim to teach healthy habits in our programs as well as social and independence skills. Our next class is going to be on June 13th. We're going to be making hummus and pita chips, nice and healthy snack. I'll send the link to register in the chat in a little bit. If you don't know already, we're also registration for summer camp is open. We're offering virtual cooking and social skills summer camp. We've got 3 weeks that we're offering. You can choose to sign up for one or all of them for ages 8 through 18. So I'm going to send those details in the chat too if you want to cook a lot with us over the summer. My last thing is, as always, if you're familiar with us, you know we love to see your pictures of your finished product. So if you're cooking with somebody, take pictures, send them to us, tag us on social media. I'll send that in the chat as well. And I see all of you are introducing yourselves in the chat. It's so great to see all of you. Hi, Olivia and Maddie, Seth and Emily, a lot of New York Cities. Ryu and Isabella's in New York City. Hi, Ryan. My name is Ryan was born in India. Hi, Ryan. Cooper is and Joshi. Oh my gosh, so many people. Folks from India, New York City, Canada. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting to see you all here. And hi, Sammy from the Bronx. It's Ryu. Did I get that right? Okay, awesome. And in Canada, got it. Thank you for correcting me. So I think we're ready to get started. I'm going to turn it over to Chef Jazz, who's going to tell us how we can get started with making our pancakes.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Like Kelly said, let's get started. So the first thing is, if you didn't melt your butter yet, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to go melt your butter, okay? So that's 3 tablespoons of butter. And you can melt it in your microwave. You can melt it on your stove. It's faster in your microwave. So I'll give you a few seconds to do that. We should have washed hands, hair up, jewelry off. And we can start getting cooking, right? So let me get this angle right. And here we go. So first things first, we have our large mixing bowl. And we're gonna measure out into our bowl. We're gonna add flour. So let's do 1.5 cups of flour. So I have my measuring cups, using my dry measuring cups for measuring. Hello and welcome. You haven't missed anything yet. If you're still trickling in, we're just getting started. Your butter should be melted. And we are now going to measure out 1.5 cups of flour. Okay, so let me loosen my flour up a little bit. Boom, boom, boom. And here we go. So I see a lot of familiar faces today. And for those of you who are new and cooking with us, thank you for joining us and making this delicious meal. I'm super excited to have pancakes today, and I hope you are too. This is a good recipe too. If you want to add in any fruit, you can also do that. So if you have some bananas sitting in your counter, or you have some berries and you're like, hey, this would be yummy in my pancakes, you can also add those in. It's your world, it's your kitchen. So 1.5 cups of flour going in. It's a heavy bag.
Yeah, and remember we are.
And I'm just measuring.
No, go ahead.
And I'm just measuring over my bowl so I don't make a mess everywhere, even though see I'm making a little bit of a mess. And once I get to the top, I'm making sure to shake it so that it's nice and level. And then I'm adding it right into the bowl. If you've cooked with me before, you know that I don't like doing a lot of dishes. So we're adding everything right on into the bowl. 1.5 cups in the bowl. And I like for us to wait for one another when we're cooking. So if you can give me a thumbs up when you have your flour in the bowl, we can all move on together. Okay. If you have any questions, you could always add them into the chat, by the way, and Kelly will say them out loud because I can't see that well.
I think I saw a lot of thumbs up, so I think that we're ready. But if I say that and you're like, whoa, I'm not ready, just like give us a wave and let us know that you need some time to catch up.
Sounds good. So if we're ready to move on, the next thing we're going to do is add in 1/4 cup of sugar. So I'm still using my dry measuring cup, and I'm going to add in 1/4 cup. So since pancakes we're going to top them with some delicious syrup. I want to make sure to also add a little bit of sugar for sweetness. And I'm going to just dump that right into our bowl. So the difference from when I'm measuring flour and when I'm measuring sugar, if you were watching, is that I can just scoop right into the sugar, but with the flour, I want to pour it into my measuring cup so that it can have the right kind of volume of flour. So we have 1/4 cup of sugar in the bowl. Thumbs up when you've also got your sugar in the bowl.
Seeing a lot of thumbs up. I think somebody's still working. And Ryu pointed out in our chat, do not add salt. Yeah, so if you're, don't confuse your sugar and salt. Those would be some salty pancakes. Okay, I'm seeing lots of thumbs up. I see Madden, hands up. Do you have a question? You can unmute yourself if you do.
Or you can type in the chat, whichever you prefer. Or maybe, no, that was a hands up because you're good. You're ready for the next step? Okay, so the next step is we're gonna add in 3.5 teaspoons of baking powder. So with my baking powder, I wanna make sure to level this off. Our baking powder in the recipe is gonna give it our rise. So I'm gonna scoop into my baking powder, and then I'm going to just level it off with my finger so that it's a perfect line, perfectly level. So I'm gonna do this 3 more times. 1, 2, 3, and don't forget the half. So can I get a thumbs up when you have your 3.5 teaspoons in the bowl? This recipe is nice because it's not too fussy. We're just measuring and mixing, and then we'll have delicious pancakes very, very soon.
I think we just have a couple of people still working on measuring. Thank you, Larice. Is that how you say your name? Awesome. Thank you, Larice. And thank you, Joshy. I think that was everybody we're waiting for. Give me a wave if you're not ready to move on. I think we're ready.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I saw you, Maddie.
Okay.
Just a minute.
We're hanging out. For those of you who are already done, you can just use a rag, a kitchen towel, or go under the sink and just rinse off your half a teaspoon because we're going to use that again. Okay.
And Maddie, was that a thumbs up? Are you good now? Awesome. Okay. And Stacy said snow. I'm assuming that's in reference to what it looks like in our bowl right now. I think we're ready.
So the next thing we're going to add is salt. So we're going to add half of a teaspoon of salt. We're using that same half teaspoon again, and you're going to just mix that on in there. And I know you're probably like, why are we adding salt to this? Well, everything needs a little bit of salt to round out the flavor, okay? So even though these are going to be sweet, we still need a little bit of salt to balance. So half a teaspoon of salt in the bowl. Okay. And then once you have that in, we can actually put our measuring spoons aside. And we're gonna start using, we're gonna put it aside for a minute. And we're gonna grab our measuring cup. So this measuring cup is the one that you would wanna use for liquids. This is the one that you wanna use for dries. It's okay if you only have one and you use it for everything. It's just kind of easier when you do it that way.
Okay, so is everybody ready to move on to our measuring cups? Thumbs up if you got your baking powder in the bowl.
So we have our measuring cup out, and we're gonna just use our whisk. You can use your hands too. And we're gonna just mix all of these dry ingredients. And we're gonna mix it, mix it, mix it, mix it, mix it. And even when it seems like it's all mixed, you wanna make sure that everything is really well incorporated. So we're gonna mix it, we're gonna just keep on mixing. And if you're using a whisk like I am, you'll see that it kind of gets stuck in here. So you wanna tap that out and keep on mixing. You could also use your hands. Okay, that looks good to me. Thumbs up on your end? Awesome.
Looks good, Olivia.
So we're gonna put this bowl to the side. We have our measuring cup out. We're gonna get our other bowl out, our smaller bowl. And this one can just kind of go to the side for a minute. I don't have that much counter space. So into our small bowl, our medium-sized bowl is what we're using now. So we're gonna put the dry ingredients, the flour and everything, we're gonna put that to the side. We're gonna get another bowl. And we're gonna grab our milk. And we're gonna measure out 1 1/4 cups. Now, if you do not have whole milk, I'm using almond milk, you can use oat milk, you can use soy milk, you can use whatever milk you use. And we're going to measure out 1 1/4 cup. So I'm making sure that I'm measuring, I see where my line is, I'm seeing where my line is, and I'm measuring up to where that says 1. And I'm pouring that in. If you have the one that's for 2 cups, you can just do this in one go. And I'm gonna look again. I'm gonna make sure that it says 1/4. And then that's gonna go in as well. So I have 1¼ cup of whatever milk you use in the bowl.
I'm already seeing some thumbs up. Looks like Ryu's ready, and Esther, and Brittany, and Theodore. How do you pronounce your name? Is it Rika? Rekka?
That's my mom's name. My name is Ryan.
Oh,
Tell me your name again?
Ryan.
this
Ryan.
Ryu.
Got
This
it.
is Ryu
Thank
on
you.
Rekka's thing.
No, Ryu's different screen.
Sorry about that. This,
Thank you.
this is
Okay, and Olivia,
Joey.
thank you. Hi, Joey. Oh, you changed your name. I was calling you by your mom's name too. Thanks, Joey. And I see Maddie's got thumbs up.
Welcome.
Yeah. Brittany is actually Ellie. Okay, we're getting a lot of name corrections. Thank you, everybody. Okay, I'm gonna try to remember this. If I mess up, I'm sorry. Okay, it looks like everybody's ready.
Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna crack eggs. So if this is your first time cracking egg, or even you just wanna do a little bit of practice run with me, this is how I like to practice cracking eggs. It's like when you knock on a door, knock, 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 right? It's just like that. You don't wanna crack it on the side of the bowl, you wanna crack it on a flat surface. So before we crack our egg, can we all give a knock, knock, knock on the door, on the table? And that's how we practice. Now we can put our eggs in our hand and we can do one crack. Instead of 3 knocks, we're gonna do one knock, and then it's cracked and you can just open the egg right into that bowl. And there shouldn't be any shell in there. When you crack it on like the rim of the bowl, it makes the egg go inside. If you crack it just flat, the egg cracks and then you can take care of the rest from there. So we have 1 egg in the bowl, and let's add the vanilla in there. Yeah, let's add 1 teaspoon of vanilla.
Can you say again why you don't crack it on the rim of the bowl? My son was talking. I couldn't
So
hear.
when you crack it on the rim of the bowl, the shell goes into the egg. If you crack it flat, it just cracks, and then you can like put your finger in and open it versus, do you get what I'm saying?
Thank you, because we usually do it the other way and we crack it into a separate bowl and then we pick out the shells.
Yeah, but I don't like doing dishes.
I know. Thank you.
So so next we're doing the vanilla. So that's 1 teaspoon. Make sure your teaspoon is nice and clean. If you need to run it under some water, you can just dry it off with the towel again. I know we used this already for some of our other ingredients, so we don't want any of that in here, not yet, right? So 1 teaspoon of vanilla in the bowl.
Did we put the egg in also?
Yes,
Thank you.
it's the milk, the egg, the vanilla, all in this smaller bowl. And I love how vanilla smells. I use it as my little perfume. A little bit on the wrist. That's what my mom always says. And then this, thumbs up when we have milk, egg, vanilla in the medium bowl. Awesome.
Looks like everybody. Anybody I missed? Hands up if you need more time. Oh, okay. Just a little bit more time.
Sorry, how much vanilla? We missed it.
That's okay.
1 teaspoon.
Thank you.
And then Joey, just give me a thumbs up when you do have that vanilla in the bowl. And remember everybody, so we're making this is our brunch class because it's Mother's Day tomorrow. So it's a fun little activity to maybe do with mom, make pancakes for mom or another mom figure. So this is a fun recipe to share with your family. Awesome, Joey. Thank you for the thumbs up. We're ready, Chef Jazz.
So we have all of our ingredients in this bowl and we're gonna give it a whisk. So you want to mix up, you can like find that yolk, break it up, and we're gonna give this all a mix. We just want it all mixed in. So now I have my milk mixture and my flour mixture, and it's ready to go. So that's a good amount of mixing. Thumbs up if your milk is nice and eggy and vanilla-y. The color should change a little bit because of the vanilla. It's like a little bit darker now. And then the egg yolk adds a little bit of color. So we have good things going on. So now we have our dry ingredients and our wet ingredients. And you're gonna just make, if you can just watch for a second, you're gonna just make a little well in the middle of your bigger bowl of your flour. And you are going to pour your milk and egg and vanilla mixture in right to the middle. And you're gonna just start whisking. So you can either use, I'm gonna use my, let me make sure I get all of this out. I'm gonna use a spoon, a large spoon, and I'm gonna give it a mix. So it's gonna look like it's not gonna come together. It's not gonna come together. Oh no, I did something wrong. Oh no. And then it's gonna start to all come together. It's okay if it's a little bit lumpy.
Chef Jazz, should we have added our butter just yet, or are we mixing first?
Oh, let's add
I
our
think
butter, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, our melted butter. Let's add our melted butter too. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Okay, so you've made a well in your flour.
Teacher,
Some
Yes.
different.
how many melted butter?
Ah.
Out? How much?
We melted 3 tablespoons of butter. So
Okay.
melt it in your on the stove or in the microwave.
Oh, you're making a mistake. I'm not.
Okay.
1 second.
And then add it to this.
Okay, 3 tablespoons.
3 tablespoons
Question?
of butter. Yeah, is there another question?
Yeah, do we switch to a spatula to mix it now from the whisk?
You could use a spoon, you could use a spatula. Yeah, either works.
Do we add butter now?
Can you add what?
Do we add butter now?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so you have your flour, you've added your milk mixture, you've added your melted butter, and now you can mix. You can switch that from your whisk to a different mixing spoon if you'd like. A spatula, a wooden spoon, something like that. And we're gonna mix it until it's combined. And how much are we mixing it, Chef Jazz? How do we know when we're done?
I want to make sure that when I'm mixing it, I am mixing and making sure that everything is combined. I'm looking underneath to make sure that there's no dry spots, there's no dry flour. And when I'm mixing, I'm holding on to the bowl with one hand and mixing with the other, holding on with the bowl with one hand and mixing with the other. You can also mix with, you can also turn the bowl as you mix. And that helps make sure that it's nice and incorporated. So it's okay if it's lumpy, like I said. We are going to actually let this batter sit. So thumbs up if you've mixed your batter, you don't see any dry bits. And you have your butter, you have your milk mixture, you have your flour mixture all in the bowl. Thumbs up.
So I see a lot of thumbs up, but I also see some people actively mixing.
I see some mixing still. Okay, if you keep mixing, I'll keep mixing. But yeah, this is fine as it is. We have our flour, we have everything in there, we have everything nice and dry, everything nice and combined, incorporated. So this can actually go to the side for a minute. Once you're done doing that.
I think actually our folks who are still mixing, I've seen you mixing a lot of the time, so I would guess that your batter is done. Does anybody want
Yeah.
us to look at anything to check? Larice, that looks great. And Ryan, from
It
what I
should be.
see, yours looks good too. Do you see any flour, dry flour? If you don't, then you're all set. And Seth, yours looks good too.
It should be pretty thick. It's okay if it's still
Good.
lumpy.
Okay, right. So you might be trying to mix to get all those lumps out. It's okay if there's a few lumps, as long as you don't see any dry spots or anything. Sorry, sorry. It's okay. We're cooking in the background over here, so we have some noise. It's okay. Yeah. So I think everybody should probably be done. You might have a few lumps, so you can set that to the side to rest, like Chef Jazz was saying. And now I think we're going to move on and start mixing up some delicious drinks.
So I'm going to wipe everything down, get this out of the way, and then let's grab all of our ingredients for our beverage. So here we go. The first thing you're going to want to do is make sure you have, like, if you're not doing this in drink maker mixer, you can do it in a container like this, like a large container. And then you can move it on over to your carafe or whatever you're using to serve, like a pitcher or what have you. So let's start with our blackberries. So I'm taking about 8 blackberries because I'm making 2 drinks. But if you know that you're making a big pitcher, you can use this whole container. So if you're making a big pitcher, ooh, I use my soda stream. Ooh, nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm adding some blackberries right into my container.
One thing, can we use this jar as the
Yeah, I don't know if you
cocktail maker?
Yep. So Chef Jazz, I don't know if you can see, but it's an old, it looks like a tomato sauce jar, and
Oh, yeah.
it would work great.
Yep, that's perfect. That is
Thanks.
perfect. So again, this is making 2 drinks. If you want to make more, you're going to have to double this recipe. So you can work with your.
this?
Yes, I don't know if you can see Larice, she has, or has a little like Tupperware.
We don't have a picture. We don't have
And
a
it looks like
picture.
That works.
that's okay. Use whatever you got. So we're just mixing it up.
If you
and
have
then you'll
something
have to
tall,
just
that's better.
Thank you.
But that works for sure. Does anyone else want to show us?
Yeah. And Olivia said, can I use a pitcher? And yes, you can. So we're gonna be, so let's just talk about what we're gonna do first. So we're mixing it up and mashing it all together. You'll wanna strain it to get rid of the chunks and seeds of blackberries and stuff like that. Or maybe you wanna just drink it like that. So if you do wanna strain it, keep in mind, you might not wanna mix it in the container you're going to serve it out of. But also if you want to, you can.
Yeah, so you're looking ideally for something that's tall because we're going to be doing some mashing, but it's going to be great. So we have blackberries in here and we're going to add some honey because we want some sweetness, right? So I'm adding 1/4 cup of honey and I'm using, this is new, so it doesn't have a thingy. So we're adding 1/4 cup of honey going into the bowl. Going into a container, into a measuring cup, and then from there, we're gonna add it into the bowl. So my trick when I'm using honey is I use a, where is my, I use a spray like canola oil or whatever oil. So if you spray it first
Can I
and
interrupt
kind
you?
of move it around.
There's just a question about if they can skip the honey.
You can skip the honey. Of course, yeah, you can skip the honey. If you realize you want the honey afterwards, you could also add it in later. If you want to use agave or something, you can do that as well. But you can totally skip on the honey. My honey is very, very hard. So I actually have to scoop it out and eyeball it. But I would normally pour my honey into here, and then it comes out really easy. So we have our honey in, thumbs up when you have your honey in. Maybe your honey's fighting you like mine is, but that's okay, because we're waiting for each other before we move on, right?
Some thumbs up and some still working. I think we're working on getting honey out of containers and all of that. So I see you all with your thumbs up so far. I can see that we're waiting. Win and Cooper specifically, I can see. So let me know when you are ready.
Besides
with the thumbs up
blackberries and
anybody
honey,
else.
what did we add?
Just the blackberry and the honey.
Thank you.
That's all for now, yeah.
Ryu, do you have a question?
Can I use like maple syrup if we don't have honey?
Yeah, you can use maple syrup. A little, I would use less maple syrup though. I would say like half of the quarter. So that would be 1/8 of a cup. So just
Okay.
eyeball what half of that would look like. Or if you have agave, you could use agave.
Yeah, good question. Okay. Seeing lots of thumbs up. Are we all ready? Cooper, are you still working or are you ready? You ready? Okay, we're good to
The
go.
next thing we're gonna add is mint. So if you don't normally have mint in the house, or you don't normally work with mint, I suggest we all actually take one piece of the mint into our hand and we can just kind of slap it and then smell your hand. So you're gonna put it in, give it a little slap, and then smell your hands. And you're gonna see how minty and delicious this mint is. I see some of your reactions. So we're going to add a few of these leaves in here. So let's add 10 leaves. 1, 2, you can count with me. 3, 4, 5, 6. These are big leaves. 7. Since these are so big, I think I'm gonna just do 7 big ones. But you can use that trick with any herb. Anytime you see a new herb, I suggest you give it a smell, give it a taste, so you can see what you like.
Ryu asked, can we put sage?
You could. You can substitute different herbs. You can substitute different fruits. I wouldn't put so much sage. I would put like one or 2. Because sage is a lot stronger of a scent and taste than mint. But this is something that you can switch up. You can do this with a different berry. You can do it with a different herb. If you had basil at home, if you had something else you wanted to experiment, like a strawberry, you could do that too. If you want to add other berries to this, you can do that. So we should have blackberry, honey, and mint in the container, whatever container you're using.
I just want to share too, Jazz, I know you'll love this, that Brittany shared that Ellie grew her mint that she's using. So very cool.
I am so jealous. I can't wait to bring back my herb garden on my fire escape. I'm in New York too, so I don't have a backyard.
I'm seeing some thumbs up already. So if everybody has all those ingredients, and I see Mary's using
cool.
strawberries, so very cool. If you have your blackberries or other fruit, honey or other sweetener, and mint or other herb, lots of options today. Thumbs up. Everybody, let me know if you're still working with the hands up.
Okay.
Okay, I think we're good.
So you're gonna use something heavy, like a masher. This is a meat mallet that I had. But if you're using like a classic mixing cocktail mixer, then you can use that. What comes with that? I'm gonna just use something heavy. You can use, you could even use like a whisk. And I'm just gonna mash it. So we're mashing the berries to get the flavor out, but this is called macerating. So we are macerating our fruit right now. And macerating means mashing. And when we mash our fruit, it's gonna all, the flavors are all gonna combine. It's getting a little bit liquidy. So it's releasing all of that berry juice. The honey is mixing in there. The mint smell is also being incorporated. So that's looking good. If you want them a little bit thicker because you think it looks cute, you could do that. If you want it really, really mashed up, like pulverized, you can keep on going. But I think that's good for me. And I have some honey that's stuck on the sides. I'm just gonna make sure I get it all down there mixed in with everything else. Oh, that's tasty. It's kind of really sweet because of the honey right now, but once we add the seltzer water and the regular water, it will be less sweet. So thumbs up when you have macerated your fruit.
Awesome. Maria and Joshi and Joey, I saw you all so far, in Ryu. And Ryan. And Olivia's showing hers. Good, good, good. Thank you, Madden and Anya and Arif. All right, a couple people still are mashing. Thank you, Ellie. Okay. Does anybody still need more time? Raise your hand if you need some more time before we tell you the next step. Oh, Larice, was that a hand up? Yep.
Let me see. That looks good. That
Is
looks real
okay?
good. Yeah, you're good. You're ready.
Okay.
So the next ingredient we're going to use is our lemon. So we need a cutting board. We need a knife because we're going to cut our lemon. And if you have a juicer, something that can help juice, you can use something like this. If you don't have something like Joshi has like a squeezer in his camera, if you don't have that, you can use a spoon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll my lemon on my table because I want to make it a little bit easier for to loosen up that juice in there, right? So I'm giving it a roll, and then I'm gonna cut it in half. Or yeah, I'm gonna cut it in half.
That's right there. Yeah.
I don't see any seeds. If you see any seeds, you can start picking them out. But I'm gonna juice this whole lemon into my container. So we're going to be mindful when we're drinking this later of the lemon seeds. Like if you were drinking lemon juice, fresh lemon juice, and sometimes the seeds are in there. You want to make sure you get all of that juice out. Awesome. And this can go on the side.
What do we do with the lemon?
The lemon, when you're done with it, you can put it on the side.
Okay.
You squeezed it all in? Yeah.
No.
Oh, you squeeze your lemon into the container. And then once you're done with it, then you put it in the side.
Yep, so we're adding the juice of 1 lemon. I was a little late on the chat on that one. So we cut our lemon in half and are squeezing the juice out of both sides of the lemon into the container with your blackberries or other mixture.
I have a question.
Yep.
Do we
Mhm.
do we have to put the whole squeeze the whole lemon, or just
I'm
one?
using the whole lemon. Yeah. If you only have half of a lemon, you can do half. If you don't like lemon that much, you could do half. I want you
Thank
to
you.
like how it comes out. So if you know you don't like something so much, you can, edit the recipe however you want or need.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So thumbs up when your lemon is in the container.
Okay, I see a lot of thumbs up, but I also see at least one person still working. Okay, Ryu, you need more time too? That's fine. Madden says we are juggling the ingredients for the drink. I'm doing that too because we got a lot of people who want to taste it.
Okay.
So waiting for a couple people. Ryu and Win, give me a thumbs up when you're ready. Oh, Ryu, good. Okay, thank you. And Win too. Okay, I think that was everybody. Let me know if anybody needs more time, but I think we're good. And Olivia's doubling the recipe too. Very cool.
So the next ingredient we're going to add is our water. So we're going to add half a cup of water. And I'm looking at the line, I see where I'm going, and then I'm pouring.
How much water do we use?
We're adding 1/2 of a cup of water. Thumbs up when you're ready.
Okay.
And then look for the lid to whatever you're using and cover it.
Okay, I'm seeing lots of thumbs up, so I think everybody's with us. So you've got your water in, you got lids on.
We do not add the
Now-
seltzer yet. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our lid on, make sure it's on nice and tight, and we're gonna give it a shake, 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 okay? So shaking is incorporating everything. And now
this can actually get popped into the refrigerator, because what you're gonna wanna do when you're ready to drink this is you're gonna put some ice in your cup, then you're gonna put your liquid, and then you're gonna put about half of a cup of your sparkling water on top. So you want it to be nice and bubbly and fresh when you are drinking it. So that's why we're adding it when we go to drink it, okay? And the sparkling water just adds those bubbles that, you know, make your nose kind of fuzzy. So this is going in the refrigerator until we're ready to drink it. And we're going to get ready to finish our pancakes.
So while you're resetting, I just want to set our expectations here that we're probably only going to make a few together and then let you all continue to make them. So I want to make sure that we know that, because you'll be in the middle of using the stove when we're signing off in the class. Okay, so the drink mixture, yeah. So, okay, questions are right now about the drink. Do you strain it? I don't know if Jazz could hear, but I would strain it, but you don't have to. It just depends on your taste. If you know you don't want to have chunks of fruit in there, or you know, the blackberry seeds also, you can strain it. We're gonna strain ours, and so that way it's nice and smooth. And then you add your seltzer and your ice. Olivia also said, can we add more blackberries on top and mint? So that's a great way. Once you've poured it into your glass, you can put those in top and make it look all pretty. So definitely.
So our drinks can be, does anyone have any other questions about our beverages? Are we ready to do pancakes? Thumbs up if you're ready to make some pancakes together.
I like pancakes.
Me too.
Me too.
So what we're gonna need is, you're gonna take me over to the stove. You're gonna need your batter. You're gonna use either a 1/4 scoop from your ring mold, from your measuring cups, or you can use a cookie scoop, or you can use, what else you can use? A ladle. But you wanna do, you want your scooper, you want your spatula so that we can flip our pancakes. And we're gonna be using a skillet. We're gonna add some butter to the pan. So let's get cooking. I am on a medium heat. And I'm gonna let the pan get nice and hot before I start adding my butter. So you can do the same. Let your pan get nice and hot.
So Jazz, there was actually a question, and this is optional. I added to the recipe that you can preheat your oven if you want to keep your pancakes warm while you make them. So Olivia asked, what should you preheat your oven to? I like to just keep my stuff warm at like 200. But I don't know if you have an opinion on that.
200 is great. Is great. You also want to have your landing pad ready. Your landing pad meaning when you have your pancake nice and cooked and ready, where's it gonna go, right? So you want your landing pad, your plate, or whatever it is that you're going to use. So we're gonna make 1 or 2 pancakes together, a few pancakes together, and then you can finish on your own. This recipe makes, how many does this make, Kelly? Do you remember? Maybe 12, 6 or 12?
Yeah, I feel like about like 10. It just depends on the size too. So if you make smaller pancakes, you'll obviously get a lot more. If you're all about like these, you know, big giant pancakes, you'll make a few less.
I have a question.
I think we had about like 8, I would say, when I made them.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So
What's your
like,
question?
I wanted to do the pancake with this. Should I use 1/3 of cup or 1/2 a cup?
I'm using 1/4 cup. Oh, do you
So-
only have those two sizes?
Yeah,
Then
I
I would use 1/3.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So we have our heat on. I'm gonna add my butter. I'm gonna let that melt. And I wanna make sure that my butter gets nice and everywhere. So we're gonna give that a minute so that it can melt. Does anyone have any other questions before we get started?
Ryu, was that a hand? Do you have a question? You good? Okay.
Can we use oil for the as a replacement for the butter?
Yes.
Okay.
You can use oil, you can use coconut oil. If you didn't do the egg and you want some vegan pancakes, you can do vegan butter if you want. I would suggest like a canola or a vegetable oil over an olive oil. And if you wanted to add in fruit, add it now before you start doing this. You can add it right on into that batter. So if you have some bananas, some berries, some whatever, add it on into that batter so they can all and go into the pan at the same time. So I'm making sure that the bottom of my pan is nice and coated. That beeping is my burner. I'm taking 1/4 cup scoop and I am adding it to my pan. And I'm doing one at a time. I'm trying to make it a little bit of a circle. But I like to think that pancakes are like snowflakes. Someone said snow earlier. Pancakes are like snowflakes. They don't have to look exactly the same. And we're gonna let that cook for about 2 to 4 minutes until it's nice and like golden brown. What I'm looking for when it's almost ready is you see the bubbles forming in the middle. There's gonna be more bubbles and then there's gonna be bubbles all around the edges. It's gonna get a little bit golden around the edges and you're gonna start to see that the pan wants to let you flip that pancake. So that's what we're looking for right now.
I also want to point out, so I made these pancakes a few weeks ago and they all look different, especially at first. So you're going to have to get used to the heat on your stove, and it's okay if, it takes a couple practice rounds to get the temperature right, to get the flipping right. It's all going to taste really good. So don't worry. It's all about practice. And then you'll see by the end, you're going to have like this perfect pancake because you've made it so many times and you've nailed your technique.
There is a saying that goes with the first pancake is always the bad pancake, and it's true because you're trying to figure out your temperature, you're trying to figure out all of these things that Kelly just mentioned. So your first pancake is probably going to be the not best one. And then by the time you finish doing this whole batter, you're going to be like, I'm a pancake master. So keep that in mind. And also, if you're like, this is way too much pancake batter, I can't eat it all, then you could also just put this in a container and refrigerate it for overnight and eat the rest tomorrow or the day after. I see Brittany's dancing while she cooks. I like to dance while I cook too.
Yep, and everybody remember to keep an eye on your pancakes because everybody's stove is different heat. So we're already flipping over here because it's like, otherwise they'll burn. So keep an eye on your pancakes, and if it's ready to flip, go ahead. I see some people flipping as well. So yeah, if you're ready to flip, then go for it.
Yeah, and the
It's
sign for
fast
when
too,
you're ready to flip is you see the sides get a little bit thick. Excuse me?
No, I was just saying it's hard. It can be hard to do, especially if it's your first time. You've got the wet batter on the top, so you want to make sure you're going as quick as possible. But if your pancake folds over itself or splatters and is like lopsided, it's all okay. We're practicing and we're gonna, we're just trying. Great, Olivia. Olivia's already got so many pancakes over there.
I got a bad first pancake.
That's okay.
Okay, tell us how your second pancake goes. If we have any pancake masters out there who have like an excellent first pancake, let us know too. So again, we're doing about 2 to 4 minutes. It depends on your stove. So we're keeping an eye on it. I know we have some sous chefs, AKA parents, helping out. So I know you're keeping an eye on everything.
Looks good, Ryu. Thanks for showing us. And I can see wins too.
Oh, that looks good. Brittany's screen. Oh, she's a beauty.
Great job, everybody. So Jazz, I think I'd like us to do like at least one more pancake together to make sure that we answer every questions. And once we start our second pancake, I'm gonna launch a poll for everybody that I'd love for you to take if that's a good time. But I'm gonna let Chef Jazz walk us through the next pour. And once she does that, then I will launch a poll.
And if you see your pan getting a little bit dry between pancakes, just add some more butter or move around the butter that's already there. If you want a bigger pancake than what's coming out, then you can use a bigger size scoop. These pancakes are like super buttery, super delicious.
I know everybody's at a different place, so I know Chef Jazz just poured hers, but people might be at different places. I'm going to launch a quick poll for everybody, and you can take it when you can. It's just going to ask you, did you find this class easy to follow along with, and would you take a Culikid class again? So I'm going to launch this, and you'll see it on your screen. Take it when you can. I know if you got your hands, flipping pancakes, take your time, but it is launched and ready for you whenever you are.
Can you still see me?
I can. I moved my poll screen out of the way off to the side. I think everybody can do that too. If anybody can't see Chef Jazz, let me know. We actually do have half participation in our poll so far, so thank you, everybody.
Yes, and yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to give us feedback. We love feedback. We want to give you guys the best classes possible, and so that's why we're asking these questions. So if you could just take that moment, it'd be awesome.
One question. Do we put the butter in between every pancake?
Yeah.
I'm putting butter, yeah, just about in between everyone because my pan needs some butter loving in between.
If your pan is staying,
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, and then I've also mentioned that you could use a non-stick pan. So mine didn't need butter between every time when I use non-stick. So if it seems like your butter is going away like Chef Jazz's, then add more. And we did actually get 77% on our poll. So I'm going to end this pretty soon. Thank you everybody who participated, and thank you for such positive feedback. We actually did have 100% saying the instructions were clear and good, and that 100% would definitely try a class again. So I'm so glad to hear that. Okay. I'm going to close this out. How's everybody doing? Does anybody have any questions? Oh, Olivia just asked, actually, can you freeze pancake batter?
You should be able to freeze it. I would more likely just refrigerate it though. So try to refrigerate it for a few days, because I don't think the defrosting process would be like the same consistency so much. So I would say refrigerate over freezing. Or make all of the pancakes and then freeze the pancakes. Do that. I would say do that instead of freezing the batter.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to share that as well. I love freezing
Check
stuff.
this out.
Awesome, Joey.
Joey, that's amazing.
Thanks.
The drinks again.
Reese, can you repeat that?
How do we prepare the drinks?
So when you're ready for the drinks, you're going to strain it if you don't want those the mint and the bits in there. So you can use a strainer to strain it, and then you're gonna add half of a cup of seltzer, and you're gonna pour that all over ice. So you're gonna put ice, you're gonna strain the drink over, and then you're gonna add half of a cup of seltzer water for each, or sparkling water for each of your cups that you're making. If you're making a big pitcher, then you can do that all in the pitcher.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. You're very welcome.
I have a question.
Sure.
For the juice, do we have to put ice?
You don't have to.
Okay.
It's just a... Joshua, do you have a question? You're just saying hey.
You say goodbye.
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 Goodbye. Enjoy your pancakes.
Does anybody else have any questions? I know you still have pancake batter left, but like we said, we're going to let you continue to cook those on your own. So does everybody feel like they can? I'm not sure who's talking. Is somebody trying to ask a question?
Oh, we don't have to put the ice cream. Oh, that's good. I can't have ice because, I can't have ice. So.
If you can't have ice, that's okay. You could just serve it without the ice.
I can't.
And it's still going to be nice and fizzy because of the bubbles in the carbonated water.
Yep. It's just a preference. And so we have a couple of questions. I'm going to get to you all. I see them coming in through the chat. So Olivia, is this a good summer drink? I say yes. I think most drinks with berries are good summer drinks. I have a lot of questions about, can I email the recipe for the drink and for the other things? Yes, I will send that out again. I've already sent everybody who's signed up for the class an email with the recipe attachments. If you did not get those yet, or you're not sure, just send me your email privately in the chat so I can make sure that you're on our list, or check your spam in case that happened. I think that was all of our questions so far. And that was your question that you're going to ask Anya and Ariv, correct? Anything else? A bunch of thank yous. So great job to Chef Jazz for leading us through that. Any other questions that we didn't get to? And I'm also going to be sending the recording. So I know people, had dropped off and off because of internet connection. So that. Okay.
Do these drinks include any sugar in them?
Do the drinks include sugar?
Yeah.
The drinks have the natural sugar from the honey and from the berries. So there's no added sugar, but there is natural sugar in there.
That's wonderful.
Okay, is everybody feeling prepared to continue making their pancakes on their own? I see a lot of thumbs up. I see a lot of great pancakes already. So I think you guys are doing great.
If you want to show us your pancakes before we go, you can go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Otherwise.
Great, Larice. So you perfected it. Your first pancake was a little tricky, but you got it great. Good job. And Ryan and Maddie and Cooper and Wynn, all of these look fantastic. Okay, if we have nothing else, we're gonna let you go continue making your pancakes. So everybody enjoy your weekend, enjoy your Mother's Day, and we'll see you at a class soon.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Yeah.
I'll leave. Bye. Thank you.
Leave it.